Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This week we are doing cured salmon, or as we call it, Gravlax. I will show you 4 ways to do it with 2 different techniques. So enough talking and let's cook this!
Alright, so today we will be doing 4 different recipe of Gravlax using 2 techniques. So you can look at the Gravlax the same way we look at brining meat. There's a dry brining and a wet brining. So let's start with the 2 first recipe that will be dry brining or dry Gravlax. So the ingredient of this recipe will be the zest of 2 grapefruit, the zest of 1 lemon, 1 cup of kosher salt, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and 1 tablespoon of grounded pepper. And mix everything until it's homogeneous. The ingredient for the next recipe will be 1 bunch of dill, 3 tablespoons of kosher salt, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, and 1 tablespoon of grounded black pepper. Come on, can someone give me a proper pepper mill, please? Ah, thank you. Now you need to take 1 beet, peel it, and then grate it very finely and add this to the mix. And by the way, the ratio of salt and sugar is a question of personal taste. If you prefer a sweeter flavor, put more sugar in the cure. If you have a more savory palate, put more salt in it. But don't do equal ratio because it will taste bland. And of course, always taste your ingredient to be sure it's edible. Our 2 next Gravlax recipe will be a wet brine. The ingredient for this recipe will be 2 tablespoons of dry gin, 3/4 cup of kosher salt, half a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of whole grain mustard, 2 tablespoons of honey, 1 bunch of dill finely chopped, and 1 tablespoon of crushed juniper berries, and hopefully with the right tool. And mix everything together vigorously until it gets homogeneous. And one thing that is important to understand about Gravlax when it's cured is the fish shelf life is extended, but only by a little, not a lot. Gravlax can go bad on you. As soon as the Gravlax start to smell off, maybe 4 to 5 days after the cure, don't eat that, and always remember to use sashimi or sushi grade salmon. Okay, back to the recipe. The ingredient of this one will be the zest of 1 lemon and the juice of half a lemon. Remember, lemon will cook the meat like it does in ceviches, so you can expect to have a more firm texture on the salmon. And as you can see, while I was not looking, my little sous chef Sissy is having a lot of fun in the brown sugar. Okay, so the rest of the ingredient for this recipe is 1/4 cup of chopped caper, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 1 shallot finely chopped, and 1 bunch of chopped dill. Alright, so here we have our 4 recipe with our 4 pieces of sushi grade salmon. And before, make sure you clean that salmon in clear water. You can give it a bath of 10 minutes and dry it out. And now with your brine mix, cover every square inch of those salmon and put them in plastic bag and remove the air. And I will repeat those steps for all 4 of the recipe we do today. Remember, we have 2 wet brine Gravlax and 2 dry brine Gravlax. Now this part will be where it's different. With the dry brine Gravlax, you want to poke hole into the plastic bag so the humidity and liquid can go out. Put them in a container with a little weight on it so it can press all of the juice to go out of the bag. And the wet brine Gravlax is even more simple. You just leave everything in the bag and every day you massage the bag. And I didn't mention it, but of course you keep all those in the fridge. With the dry brine Gravlax, all you have to do is to flip the bag and remove the liquid every day. When the salmon is done curing after 3 days, remove the salmon from the bag and rinse it under cold fresh water. kosher. Dry your salmon with paper towel, and now it's time to cut it. And you absolutely need a very sharp knife. A sort of sharp knife won't do it, because Gravlax is delicate and it will tear under the force of a dull knife. Ideally, you should reach for a thin slicing knife, since the reduced surface area of a thin blade made it less of it for the salmon to stick as you slice. It's beautiful.
Alright guys, so now you know how to do cured salmon at home. So what are we gonna do with this? I was thinking of a nice bagel with some cream cheese. And on top of that cream cheese, let's add some micros. And of course, let's put a good amount of that beet cured salmon. Red onion, a couple of nice green capers, and to finish the garnish, fresh dill. Alright guys, this is it. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like. It makes a big difference on the channel. Take care and see you on the next episode.